Limit from graph. Question 1. Use the graph to find limit if it exists. Part A is limit of the function f of x when x approaches 2 from left side, 2 minus, that means from left side. Part B is limit of function fx when x approaches 2 from right hand side, plus means right side. And part C is limit of function f of x when x approaches 2. The graph of the function is given to us here. It's a straight line which has a discontinuity at 2. So at 2 there is a hole, right? So it is actually a discontinuous function. So the value of the function does not exist at 2. But does the limit exist? This is what we are trying to figure out, right? This is a very simple and beautiful example which helps you understand limits. Now, let's answer these questions one by one. So the first one is, limit of this function f of x when x approaches, this line is approaches, arrow 2, and negative on as an exponent of 2 says from the left side. That means what? This is the x values of this function. So when we say x approaches 2 from negative side, that means you're approaching from negative side means left side. So if let's say you're approaching from left side, so you're on the graph and now you're approaching this value from left side. So where do you reach? So 2 minus means you're approaching from this side. So when you approach from this side and you're very close, limit means you're not there, but you're very close to that point, right? So when you're extremely close to that point, so what value of y do you reach? So you approach a value of y which is 1. Do you see that? So we get limit of this function as it approaches 2 from negative side as equal to 1, correct? So as you approach from here, you approach a value 1. Do you see? It is very close to 1. Now part B is, what is the limit of this function when x approaches 2 from positive side? Positive side means from right side, from this side. So if you are on this graph and approaching from the right side, you also approach the value 1 as you approach 2, correct? So as x approaches 2, the function approaches 1. Therefore, the limit is equals to 1. Now the third part is, what is the limit of this function as x approaches 2? So when we say limit of a function when x approaches a value, in this case 2, then we have to check what value it approaches from both the sides. So we have already seen in part A and B that if we do from left side, we approach 1. If we do from right side, we also approach 1. Therefore, these two limits are same and therefore the limit at 2 exists and the value is same, which is 1, correct? So from the definition of limits, we know limit of a function is the value which the function approaches to when you approach that function from both the sides, right? And if the value is same, then the limit exists, otherwise the limit does not exist, right? So here it is important to note that function is not defined at 2, but still the limit is defined and limit exists, correct? So basically limit is the value which we are approaching. We need not be there, correct? So even if the function is not defined at a point, limit can exist. Thank you.